Alright, first things first. Let's get a layer of blue paint across the entire paper. We're painting wet on wet, which means the paper needs to be wet first before we add the wet paint. Now the thing with watercolor paint is that it dries lighter than when you paint it, especially if you use a heat gun or a hairdryer like I'm doing. So plan on doing a few layers to make sure it gets dark enough for this effect to work. Now it's time to get a mason jar or something glass that doesn't absorb the paint and it's round. I'm going to paint some wet metallic gold color around the edge of my mason jar. This is what I'm going to use to stamp the circle onto my painting, and because I'm using a metallic paint, it should be opaque and still show up even on top of a dark color like this blue. I want to create a more loose effect, so I'm creating 2 stamped circles a little bit offset, so I can add some other decorations to my wreath. The decorations I'm going to be adding can be, well, they really can be anything. I'm going to choose to add some dots and some leaf shapes since I want to make this into a wreath. The dots are just a way to vary the size of things that I have and not make them all the same leaf shape. It creates a little more delicacy that goes with the thinness of the circles and lines. When it comes to the leaves, I'm trying to offset them from each other, making them a little more random, different sizes. Some are inside the circle, some are outside the circle, and they're all made with the same color as the wreath because I think that'll make it nice and consistent. However, of course, you could add a second metallic color when you're painting the leaf to add some more variety. Also, you may have noticed I taped this painting down to a clear plexiglass board. This is so I can turn it without taking it off of my table. Because I have the tape down, normally I can't turn it if it's taped to my table, but because I taped it to this plexiglass, it makes it easy for me to flip around the painting and make sure my hand is comfortable and more in control while I'm painting each design and little detail. You could, of course, leave it just like this with the wreath design. I decided to keep playing and use my silver metallic paint to create a design in each corner. One thing I would also love to add to this if I was to give it to someone is maybe a word or a design inside the circle to use as a greeting card. So I'm making this right before Mother's Day, so maybe I'll put mom in the center, or you can really put any themed word, joy, peace, gratefulness, whatever you're going to use it, whatever purpose it's for, you can put that right in the middle of the wreath, or you can have fun and add some designs in the corners just like I'm doing here. And there we have it. I hope you give this easy, fun painting a try. Find yourself some metallic watercolor paints to see which ones these are. Check out the information below and take a look at all the other supplies I use as well. Make sure to follow along for more fun watercolor tutorials where I'll teach you to find the joy of painting with watercolor. Happy painting!